up, motherfuckers? It's the hater back again, and apparently I've been living under a motherfucking rock. You understand what I'm saying? The reason I say this is because you may hear some clanging here as I set up my laptop, because this is how impromptu this video is. I just plugged in my bitch. You know what I'm saying? My friend texted me about some Ronda Rousey shit, so I went and I Googled an article, and we're gonna talk about the first article that I just saw. Apparently, shit's been hitting the fan. I've been busy out here working, playing Final Fantasy VII, and Ronda Rousey's out there talking shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for the hater to talk about this for a little bit. The quote that I have in front of me is a secondary quote, because apparently before this, Ronda Rousey said something like, fuck the fans, you know, and like the reason she's not coming back full time is because the fans are a bunch of assholes, a bunch of neckbeards, you know what I'm saying? So there you go. Now the quote I'm going to read here, actually I'll read it in a second. Let me get my bearings real fast and like just Google her name and see what the fuck like she actually said beforehand, you know what I mean? So yeah, until we do that, let's hold off on that quote, motherfucks, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're going to talk about this thing, this, you know, I don't know what to call it, this event, you know what I'm saying? Apparently, like, my friend texted me, and he was like, yo, he's like, Alexa Bliss is he's like, talking shit to Ronda, like, on Twitter or something. It's a bunch of bullshit, man, but, you know, I'm going to get to all that right now, motherfucks. So the first article, chronologically speaking, is, it says, Ronda Rousey says her relationship with fans played a part in her decision to walk away from WWE. Quote, what am I doing it for if I'm not able to spend time with energy of my family? All right, first of all, pause right there. Shut the fuck up, you know what I'm saying? Enough of this bullshit, you know what I mean? Enough of this fucking entitled bullshit, you know? Well, why would I do something if I'm not doing it to be with my family? It's called work, motherfucks. What the fuck has happened to this bullshit generation that I am part of, you know? Ronda Rousey is about my age, like, she's probably a little older than me, you know, that old bitch, you know what I'm saying? But enough of this, like, why would I do it if I, like, it's the same thing CM Punk said. Why would I do wrestling when I have AJ Lee as my wife? Shut the fuck up. You, like, these bunch of jabros, like, they think they're better than they are. Like, anyone gives a fuck that Ronda Rousey left. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck if Ronda Rousey comes back full-time or part-time. You know, she severely overestimates her impact to the sport, just like the other divas do, or whatever the fuck they call it, women wrestlers do, you know? Becky Lynch, Charlotte, oh, women's revolution. Shut the fuck up. I'm tired of this bullshit, you know? And she's like, she says, but instead spending time and energy on a bunch of fucking ungrateful fans that don't even appreciate me. You know, like, I'm not saying that people shouldn't appreciate Ronda Rousey. Like, I actually thought Ronda Rousey was pretty good in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, especially considering that she, you know, she trained very, very little. Like, I really believe that, like, she's better in the ring than people like Carmella and, honestly, like, Alexa Bliss and virtually everyone, honestly. I mean, she's just more athletically coordinated. She's at least a D-level athlete. The rest of the divas are like F-level athletes. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a few. Sorry, my folks. There's a few good ones here and there. You know what I mean? Like there's like Naomi. She's athletic. You know what I mean? But then once you start looking at the ones that are actually attractive, right? Like for example, I almost forgot her name. Alicia Fox. Alicia Fox is a sexy woman. You know what I'm saying? She's an attractive woman, but like she's botchy. She fucks up the moves. She tries to do the Booker T axe kick, does it about 1,000 times worse. You know what I mean? Like, none of these girls are actually athletes, you know? And then, like, all of a sudden, Ronda Rousey is, like, making it all about, oh, my family, all the fans are ungrateful. Nobody owes you gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Shut the fuck up. This is the problem that I have with not just, like, wrestlers, but athletes in general, you know? The same way that people say, like, oh, I don't give a shit about this guy's opinion. He's just an athlete, you know? That's fucked up. I'm cool with athletes having opinions, even opinions that are like this, you know, that are like anti-fan or whatever. But fucking get over yourselves, man. Just fucking get over it. It's like, oh, they're ungrateful. Like, what did you expect? Some sort of gratitude, like a wave of gratitude? Oh, thanks, Ronda, for coming to wrestling? Like, anybody gives a fuck? Like, everybody, it was too late. You know, if she came, like, if Ronda Rousey was at the prime of her career, you know, she was the UFC bantamweight champ or whatever, right? And she was like, I'm done with UFC. I'm going straight to WWE. Then people would be like, wow, thanks a lot. Like, you're quitting your career to entertain us in this other medium that you like, right? That's not what happened. What happened was she got into a fight with Holly Holm, who I predicted, by the way, motherfucks, that Holly Holm would destroy her. I didn't think she'd kick her in the head. I thought she'd just outbox her, right? Holly Holm whooped her ass. She came back like ball of fire, thinking she was this hot shit. Started fighting Amanda Nunes. Amanda Nunes just did like, if anyone here knows anything about boxing, I used to box in college, and one of the first things you learn is the 6 punches. Boxing has only 6 punches, motherfuckers. Now there's variations of these 6 punches, 7, I guess, if you count the, like the overhand haymaker, I guess, right? But basically, it's 6 punches, 3 from your non-dominant arm and 3 from the dominant arm. The 1-2 combo are the first 2 punches you learn. The 1 and the 2, the jab and the cross, or the straight, as we call it, right? So and then Amanda Nunes did, well, she squared up with Ronda Rousey face to face and just started throwing a 1-2. Like remember in the old Mortal Kombat games when you hold down the punch button, the character just does like a 1-2 combo the whole time in the old ones. She did that and knocked her out, like beat her senseless. You know what I'm saying? Becky's head was bouncing off like left and right, like it's as if she had never been in a fight before. And all of a sudden, the things that I had been saying to my friends for years, which are Ronda Rousey is overrated. You know, the UFC women's division is overrated. It's just like 15 girls, and one of them is declared the champion. And I'll offer this anecdote, motherfucks. So as far as Ronda Rousey goes, people are like, oh, Ronda Rousey would beat up the Big Show. She would outbox Mayweather. If Ronda Rousey got into a fight with Mayweather, in about 1.5 seconds, her jaw would be broken on the floor. Enough of these fantasies. Oh, she'd armbar him. No, she wouldn't, motherfucks. He is faster, he is stronger, and he is like easily like 100 times more athletic than Ronda Rousey. Yeah, that's the problem with you morons out there that just kind of get into this like markdom. You know what I'm saying? Not my fans, of course, but you know what I'm talking about. The idiots out there who like really believe like the kind of bullshit that Dana White sells you. You know, he's like, oh, John Jones is the baddest man on the planet. John Jones versus like Deontay Wilder would end with John Jones in a seizure in the middle of the ring, or with Tyson Fury. It would end with John Jones dead, motherfucks. He is not on the same level athletically and physically as real athletes, right? UFC, I'm not saying that UFC has no real athletes. They got a couple, you know, and John Jones is a real athlete, but there are levels to this, right? So Ronda Rousey really, she is an ultimate mark. You know, this video should be part of my, even though I'm ranting freestyle up in this bitch, this should be part of my prelude videos, right? Because this is something that also has ruined wrestling, right? This idea that people start believing their own hype. Like people really, like Conor McGregor really starts thinking that he's the best fighter in the world. Are you fucking kidding me? Like a college level boxer would hold his own against Conor McGregor. Now Conor McGregor would win because Conor McGregor does train with like pro boxers. But that's how close it is for people like Conor McGregor and like an elite college level boxer. You understand what I'm saying? That's a distance. Now when we go to the professional level boxers, right? In a boxing match, Conor McGregor would have no chance against anybody. Maybe in like bare knuckle fighting or in other things, he'd have a shot. But against the truly elite, against like Canelo Alvarez would bounce McGregor's head left and right like it was a nothing, you know? Mayweather could have done the same thing too. Mayweather could have put out Conor McGregor in round 5, like no problem. Knockout, broken his jaw if he wanted to. This idea that just because someone made it to the UFC, that they're this elite athlete is ridiculous. In the UFC, you have people like Brock Lesnar who take up the UFC as a hobby. As a hobby, he shows up there, he's like, I'm gonna try this out, becomes world champion. What other sport could someone just walk into the sport and in 4 fights, in 4 contests, become world champion? Like, do you think there's anyone in the world, do you think there's anyone in the globe that you give them a basketball and you say, here, play 4 games, now go play LeBron one-on-one? Do you think anyone in the world who is not in the NBA has even a remote chance? They have a 0 chance because it's a real sport with real athletes where there is a lot of competition. That's the problem. I'm not saying that UFC and MMA is not like a tough guy sport. Obviously it is. What I'm saying is this, that for the longest time, no one gave a fuck about MMA. It was the sport you go to when you failed at other sports. You know what I'm saying? You failed here, or your career ended in boxing, like James Toney. Career ended in boxing, like, I'll go to UFC, make some money. You know what I mean? That's the idea. In 50 years, if the popularity of the UFC keeps growing, then yeah, it will be a sport that attracts big money athletes. But up until Conor McGregor, people were getting paid like $50K a fight. Take an elite athlete like Gronkowski or JJ Watt or LeBron. 50 grand for them is nothing. You know what I'm saying? They're like, I wipe my ass with that. I'm going to go to the NFL and make 20 million a year. You know what I'm saying? For a sport where I might not die. You know what I mean? That's it. Or even better, if you're playing basketball, for a sport where you will become like a mainstream celebrity. You know, until Conor McGregor, there were no mainstream celebrities in UFC, except for maybe Dana White. So I understand this has kind of turned into a UFC rant. That's why I'm talking a little bit faster than usual, because we're going to get back on track here with Ronda Rousey. The problem with Ronda Rousey is she is the biggest mark in UFC, just like Conor McGregor, just like John Jones. Like I saw an interview with John Jones. They're like, who do you think would win a fight? Ronda Rousey or Mayweather? He's like, Ronda Rousey. I get it. You want to put over your own sport, but that's not what would happen. Believe me, motherfuckers. Believe me. And he knows that. John Jones knows that. He's not an idiot. He's a great fighter. Man, he's also a fuck up, but you know what I mean? It is what it is, right? But the point I'm trying to make is this. In 50 years, like imagine this. In 50 years, the light heavyweight champion, whoever it may be in 50 years, that person will be substantially better than John Jones is today. You know what I'm saying? He will be hundreds of times better because he will be if MMA keeps going, he will be an A level, like a legitimate world-class athlete. Not a wannabe, right? Have you seen the people that play in the NFL? Like Brock Lesnar tried to go in the NFL, he couldn't make it. He tried to do UFC, UFC champion. You understand what I'm saying? You understand the difference? Right? Because the pool is much larger. In the NFL, you have people from all over the country and some parts of the world. You have people you're competing with other country boys like Brock Lesnar and other motherfuckers that are huge and strong. And the Samoans and all these big motherfuckers, right? You're competing with other people. In basketball, same thing. You're competing with every kid, right? In any city that matters, right? Every kid at some point wants to be a basketball player, especially if they're like not short. You know what I'm saying? Or soccer. Like, there's a reason why Ronaldo and Messi are so far, not so much anymore, but so far above everyone else. You understand what I'm saying? Because there's literally billions of people in this world that have fantasized about being a soccer player. And these two guys made it. You know, when you narrow it down, you get the best of the best of the best. Ronda Rousey is on the other side of the spectrum for that, right? There was 15 women doing MMA. She happened to be the best out of those 15 women. That's it, motherfucks. She goes away for 1 year. Now there's 40 women in MMA, and about 25 of them are better than Ronda Rousey. So the best one of them, Amanda Nunes, just bounces her head left and right. And then she goes to the WWE, and she's like, I want gratitude. I want gratitude. Shut the fuck up. You're not good enough. You're not good enough at your sport, and you're not good enough at this, thing called wrestling. You're not good enough at that either. You know what I mean? So this kind of like entitlement of gratitude. No, you don't deserve gratitude. You're not as good as people told you were. That's what it is. You're not as good as what you've been led to believe. You're not. You know what I'm saying? There's no humility whatsoever. She really thought that no woman in the world could beat her ass. Well, I'll give you this final example, motherfuckers. When I was in college, one of my last years of college, I started getting into training some other people, teaching some other people, and training some other people. And there was one girl that I helped train. I'm not going to take credit for it because there was like a lot of people training her. But I helped her train. I helped her with her cardio. I helped her with her technique. And this girl ended up becoming a collegiate champion in boxing. Right? Now, you may think to yourself, wow, that's impressive. No, it's not impressive. I could run circles around this girl. Like that girl, she won't even last 20 seconds if I were to fight her in real life, right? But because there was only 5 girls in the entire, boxing collegiate championship of fucking, whatever college, whatever the fuck it was, right? Just because there was such a small amount, she had to win 3 or 4 fights, she became the champion. She won those 3 or 4 fights, became the champion. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean that she's stronger than the worst guy on the boxing team. You know what I'm saying? She's not. So that's what I'm saying, motherfuckers. This is the problem that people have. It's just kind of ideas, and they've bought into their own hype. Now, with that being said, I will say this. In the second article that I've been reading while ranting, because I do multitasking up in this bitch, motherfuckers, there's a quote from Ronda Rousey. It says, anyone who is outraged by me calling pro wrestling fake fights for fun has never been in a real fight. Pause. All right? Pause. Here, I have to flip the switch. She's right, motherfuckers. Pro wrestling is fake fights for fun. That's probably the best definition of pro wrestling that I've heard in my life. It is fake fights for entertainment, for fun, right? It's not this like, oh, he deserves it. Oh, Dash and Dawson will now be used correctly. Nobody gives a fuck about that, you know? Real people who are smart understand that wrestling is just for fun. You know, there's no room for oh, he competed against this guy, but this guy would be this, all that stupid shit, right? She's right about that. And she continues, while you all are tiptoeing around bruising some pro wrestlers' huge soft egos, no one is thinking about all the real fighters you're insulting when pretending pro wrestling is somehow on the same level of realism. Yes, I understand. Wrestling 300 days a year for years on end is incredibly tough on the body and a difficult profession. But do you know what would happen if you got in 300 real fights in a year? You would be dead. She's 100% right. She is 100% right. That's probably one of the things about wrestling that's the least realistic, right? The idea that these people can keep going and going and going and no one ever gets actually hurt. You know what I'm saying? If you get into one fight and it goes bad, you are fucked. you are fucked and you shouldn't be fighting for like some people miss out years of their careers from like one bad knockout. You understand what I'm saying? Like one brain rattler. You know what I'm saying? Like Ronda Rousey, one of the reasons why she quit MMA was because Amanda Nunes just beat the shit out of her so bad that it would take a minimum of a year after a knockout like that for her to come back and like safely. You understand what I'm saying? So that's kind of the idea. But I will say this. A lot of people are against Ronda Rousey. You know, apparently the fans don't like what she's doing with her life, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, and what she's saying about wrestling as a business, right? But I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, let her do whatever the fuck she wants. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've said my piece, and my piece is this: the idea that Ronda Rousey is overrated, overhyped, and she needs to just like kind of like take it down a notch with her own shit. Now, on the other side of the thing, which I'm assuming is part of this story, my friend Tech showed me these Twitter pics of apparently some wrestlers talking about how Ronda Rousey hurt them, which brings me to my main point. Well, I guess the other one became a main point, but this is also a very important point. And the point is this: you know, I can't blame Ronda Rousey for injuring people like Alexa Bliss. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. It's morally unconscionable for me to put blame on Ronda Rousey for injuring Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss I like Alexa Bliss, you know what I'm saying? Like, for all things considered, I like her. She's entertaining, you know? She would make a great manager, but she is undeniably small. You know what I'm saying? She is too small to be a wrestler. It is ridiculous for her to be a wrestler. Like, even amongst the girls, it's just foolish. You know, it's just stupid. Like, you mean to tell me that she has any chance in hell against like Tamina? Tamina would beat up like 7 Alexa Blisses. The disparity is too high. You understand what I'm saying? At least Rey Mysterio looks jacked. You know, like, you might not believe that he could beat Big Show, obviously, but he could beat, like, it wouldn't be the most inconceivable thing ever if he beat up Chris Benoit. You know what I'm saying? That's where I'm coming from. So for someone to hurt Alexa Bliss, a lot of people don't realize this. Size, you know, someone's height and even weight and width are directly related to how injury prone you are. You know, sometimes you may have heard me in some of my videos. I'll say things like Conor McGregor could not hurt Kane. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what I mean by that is if Conor McGregor punched Kane, he wouldn't hurt him. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he punched him multiple times in the face, he would. But someone of Kane's size cannot be rattled the same way by a Conor McGregor punch than a man who is 155 pounds. You understand what I'm saying? And it's the same thing for women, right? If you're like 75-pound Alexa Bliss, right, you are going to get injured. It's just inevitable. Even in a fake sport, you will get injured because you are too small to be doing these things. You know what I'm saying? You're too small for contact sports. You know? Now, there are exceptions, of course, but typically these are the general rules. So you cannot blame Ronda Rousey for Alexa Bliss getting injured. Now, other people that she injured, I don't know about them. I don't know. Then maybe it's her fault, right? But like, if for example she injured Charlotte, like, that's not something that I'm like, oh, okay, like, there's no reason she should be injuring Charlotte, because Charlotte's like a big, strong girl. You know what I mean? She's not like tiny ass Alexa Bliss is the most unbelievable wrestler I've ever seen in my life. You know what I mean? So if that's what happened, that's what happened. Now, a lot of the texts that my friends sent me were all these things like, oh man, like, you know, like Alexa Bliss couldn't remember where she was, and it's like, dude, the severity of the concussion, you can't hold that against someone. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's obviously an accident, unless you're suggesting that Ronda Rousey wanted to hurt her. You know, which is ridiculous. Why would you want to do that, you know? So, there you have it, motherfucks. Ronda Rousey, I will say that this idea of, like, her choosing real fighting over, like, WWE and saying, like, oh, it's, you know, it's a tough job, but it's not, like, real fighting. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like, enough of, like, you know, fighting for a long, long time, like, a lot of sports for a long, long time was, like, a forum of tough motherfucks. And I'm not talking about boxing or MMA. I'm talking about sports, right? Like, compare, for example, I don't know, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, and Jordan, right? To, like, the NBA stars of today. The NBA stars of the past, like Charles Barkley, forget about it. These motherfuckers, like, they weren't pussies. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people now are a bunch of pussies, and they're all friends with each other, and they're like, oh, let's play. I'm going to switch teams to play with my friend. Like, Michael Jordan put it best. He said, I would not call up Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Jordan, I said, right? Jordan said this. Yeah, he's like, I wouldn't call up Magic and Larry and say, let's play on the same team. You know, I wanted to whoop their ass. And whoop their ass he did, and they whooped each other's asses too, you know? That's what made the sport compelling, the golden era of basketball, you know what I'm saying? In my opinion, at least. Like, some people have, you know, they change it up. Now, nowadays, like everything is just kind of pussified. So this idea of like being tough, both physically and emotionally, is something that is like kind of gone away. You know, it's kind of gone away, motherfuckers. So this idea, like people like Ronda Rousey were like, oh, you know, don't like in the same sentence she says that wrestlers are delicate because like you know their egos are soft, and in that same paragraph she's like, oh, but like you know you don't want to disrespect the real fighters because like you wrestle 300 times a year, but a real fighter can't do that. It's not realistic, you know, like you're disrespecting the fighters. Who gives a fuck if you're disrespecting the fighters? What the fuck happened to this world, man? Everyone's like, oh, don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect me. Don't disrespect that. Don't say anything bad. How about go fuck yourselves? How about that? What do you think of them apples? You know what I'm saying? How about disrespect whoever the fuck you want in this kind of environment? You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying go after like someone's family, be like, hey, LeBron, your mom's a whore. Now, no one's saying that. But I'm saying like, yo, I have the right to talk about your sport if I'm in a different sport or if I'm a spectator. I have the right to say, man, you're not playing it well. You know, you're being a bitch. You're acting like this. You shouldn't act like this. I don't want to see this. At the end of the day, money talks, right? People will turn it off. If they just see a bunch of pussies, they're going to turn it off. If UFC just devolves into wrestling matches, let's say, right? They're going to turn it off. I don't want to see this. I want to see. That's why people like Conor McGregor are popular. Because he's out there just breaking people's faces. He's not out there doing leg locks. He's doing like striking. You know what I mean? That's what people want to see. Nobody wants to see wrestling. You know? It's just boring, motherfuckers. So that's what I'm saying, right? But this idea that like, oh, I do my job, therefore you shouldn't criticize me, respect me. I don't owe you any respect because you go and fight someone else in a cage and then the winner declares himself champion. You know what I'm saying? I don't owe you any respect. I mean, I have respect, but I don't owe it to you. And that's the problem that I have. This kind of entitlement of like, oh, by doing 300 wrestling matches a year, you are disrespecting real fighting. No, I'm not. Let me do my thing. You know what I'm saying? And even if I am, go fuck yourself. Like a real fighter should know. All right, this is fake, and that's it. Like Conor McGregor on Twitter, he said something. He was like, I would beat up anybody in WWE. And then Roman Reigns was like, dude, you're the size of my leg. You know what I'm saying? The end. You're the size of my leg, dude. And Sheamus was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, Conor McGregor in his head really believes he can beat up like Kane in his prime? Are you kidding me? You know what would happen? Conor McGregor would do some bullshit leg kick. Kane wouldn't care at all. He'd grab by the throat and break his neck. That's what would happen. You know what I'm saying? There are limits to what you can do, even with amazing training and technique. There are limits, motherfuckers. And that's probably the thing that should be taken from this video. There are limits, and Ronda Rousey sucks ass. And you know what? But still, I guess I am in support of her, you know? But it all seems like she's doing it to fucking like, to, you know, just stir up the pot a little bit. You know, we'll see where this ends up, motherfuckers. But that's my thoughts on it. Totally unfiltered, totally uncensored. I think I might make that my closer. So let's try it again, motherfuckers. Totally unfiltered, totally uncensored. Go fuck yourselves.